energy is also very key. If you have that energy and you look like you're ready for the day, they're going to be ready for the day. It rubs off on one another. Starting off with Harambe is kind of like a big boom, and it's a hard transition to go into classrooms because your energy is really high. You've gotten chants and cheers and doing all these other fun things, interacting with one another.
So throughout the school year, as the manager of middle school program, St. Paul City School is one of the 7 schools that we partner with to provide our STEM after-school program. So which makes this Freedom School unique is strictly the STEM content. For our STEM Freedom School, our afternoon activity component is strictly related to all STEM activities. We like to throw in the A to make it STEAM for arts.
So every week we have a theme. So we have environmental science, we did biology, we did media and technology. So basically we'll come up with 4 activities. We teach 4 days here, and we'll have a different activity that corresponds with a different theme. And that gives each of the kids like a little bit of insight into that field, because as you know, STEM careers are heavily white male populated. So we're just trying to get these kids the opportunity to get into those fields themselves. So we just give them a little splurge into it so that they know.
In the beginning, the site coordinators and myself, we get together and we decide what field trips will be engaging, fun, and educational for our scholars. So what we do is we select field trips that kind of coincide with the weekly theme. We'll go to a different museum. As a science museum, scholars get to participate in the science museum and either have a discounted rate or not pay at all, because they are part of what our Kitty Anderson Youth Science Center program.
This week we're doing how can I make a difference in my country, and we pretty much do STEM and pretty much learn. I like to learn a lot.
My son, he was involved with the science program at the Science Museum, and so they introduced us to this program, and we looked it up, and okay, well, it's something to keep him busy, something to, they mentioned how they're going to be working on reading, and so that's an area where my son could use a little more help. And so I'm like, okay, well, let's put him in there. He's more science, technology, math kind of kid, and with their program, the first half of the day is all about reading and culture, all that stuff, exposing him to more than what he's used to. And so, as we got more and more into the program, coming to these meetings, we're seeing that it's actually bigger than just that. They're not just continuing to help educate our children, they're helping educate the parents as well. And I find it beneficial for both parents and students to be able to be involved with this program.
Yes, Children's Defense Fund requires each site to have weekly parent involvement nights, parent empowerment nights. For the parent empowerment night, we know that it's late in the evening, so what we like to do is provide the parents with like a main course for a meal. After our community dinner, we go into our speakers for the night. The whole focus of our parent empowerment nights is to reach all of the parents and share and build with each other. So even as educators, we are learning from our parents, and we are also giving back to our parents.
I believe Freedom School is a family, and it is a movement, and just coming, being a part of the programming, and the parent empowerment meetings, just coming and being ready to learn. I mean, I've learned so much in just this last few weeks with the guests who have come. They've enlightened me on things that I know that I've needed to do. I need to advocate more for my children in the school systems, and I need to advocate more in the political systems, things that I've been thinking about, but now Freedom School is reminding me. Just making sure that the children know that you want to be there, and you believe that this is an important place for them to be.
Like one of the activities, we'll have to it'll be based off of our personal lives. Like after a book we read, we'll be like, okay, so imagine that you're this person, and write what would your home life be like, your school life would be like.
So there's another book that we read last week, and it's called Kid Caramel, and I think it's just sorting like certain things within the books that they really like, especially when it's involved in their community. I know one book talked about cops, and the kids were like, they had so much to say about cops, and everything is more powerful when it's related to you. because a lot of the time people don't really care about stuff because it's like, oh, it's not affecting me personally. But the big thing is that, I don't know, I feel like with my kids, I always try to find this, this relationship between the book and how it is relevant to them.
Freedom School is special because I think they teach kids identity, and I think that's really important to send the kids out knowing who they are, what their roots are. And
so as a director, one of the things that I like to do with Freedom School is I like to hire people who represent, look like, who come from the same community as the scholars do.
My family, we did grow in poverty. I grew up in poverty, and I moved from Thailand, so my family, we didn't speak any English, not even my mom and dad. And this would have helped me a lot because I remember when I was young, I got sick, and I couldn't communicate that to my teacher because of that language barrier, and I couldn't write it either. And not even like people who don't speak English, but people just in general, I think that this is so important.
And you see, you were welcome and greeted by our wonderful scholars with a great 10, right? Yeah. That energy you got from them, I hope it was contagious to you guys now. So tonight we're going to have a good time. We need your interaction, we need your energy, we need your blood and your participation. Can we get that? Can we get that? Oh yeah!
Our environment sustainability because a volcano is part of air pollution from the gases that come out of it when they erupt. So we chose that. And our progress of the volcano is right there.
Where's the bread?
It's okay.
It's okay, just need the bread.
I got this.
Good job! Next time you guys should have used the power.
It's still going.
So this will make it nice and firm. So it'll be sort of a squishy substance.
The scholars read books that represent them. They see people who teaching them who are representations of their communities, of their environments.
Lord, I cannot preach like Martin Luther King Jr. or turn a poetic phrase like Maya Angelou, but I care and am willing to serve. I do not have Fred Shuttleworth's and Harriet Tubman's courage, or Eleanor and Franklin Roosevelt's political skills, but I care and am willing to serve. I cannot sing like Franny Lou Hammer or organize like Ella Baker and Bayner Rustin, but I care and am willing to serve.